649.5. That's all spring wheat, all Minneapolis. And then finally, let's do a quick peek at cotton. As bad as it's been, we're 8 points better bid here today in March. 66.12 was last, and that's 37 points off the low of the day. Let's bring in our guest analyst to turn our frown upside down. That's going to be Mr. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures. Yeah, Oliver's in Chicago. Thanks for coming on the show here. You're batting cleanup today. You're going to be wrapping things up for us. What do you got for us? What say you?
Oh, you turned your frown upside down. I don't know what markets you're trading, but things look pretty darn good from this side. Nice rally. You and I talked a lot at the end of last year. These grain markets could potentially surprise to the upside. A lot of bearish headwinds potentially turning into bullish tailwinds, and I think we're continuing to see that. And within the trading community, you've got your hedgers, your end users, and then you've got the speculators. And a large part of the speculators are trend following systems, and I think you're seeing that trend just really continue to feed on itself. In that corn market, we're knocking on the door of $5 for that March contract. If we can get out above there, I wouldn't be surprised to see the market maybe make a push towards those contract highs from last May, 508.25. But that December new crop contract is really what's caught our eye recently. It looks very constructive, and we think we could potentially see an upward movement towards 480. It's not going to be a straight line by any means, but the trend is your friend. And then over to soybeans, that new crop contract there looks pretty darn good as well. The November contract, if we can get out above the recent highs, 1075 to 1080, wouldn't be surprised to see a retest of those September highs near 1105.
How much, I've been asking this to everybody, how much new crop you moving, if any?
Really haven't been all that active here yet. We're thinking that we're going to continue to see upward movement in these grains, specifically in that new crop soybean contract. Corn has really been the leader of the upside. Beans and wheat have been relatively stagnant and stale, but we're starting to see those markets pick up. And so when we get into the spring months, we're going to think that the soybeans might need to buy some acres, and that could be potentially what fuels the next leg to the upside, as well as potential for better trade with China and other countries there as well. So I think beans and wheat, it's their time to shine. Corn has been the leader here over the last several months, but I think they take a back seat here in the near term.
What a sentiment change from 2 months ago, right? I mean, boy, oh boy, things weren't looking very good. But now you have options. That's all we want is options, right? Stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures, coming to us in Chicago. We'll be right back. 104.60. All right, we got about 45 seconds, Mr. Slope. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures, has been waiting to get on. Got to be abbreviated one. I spoke too much. What do you think?
Well, we talked about the trend in the grain markets, and the trend has been violated in the livestock markets, the cattle markets in particular. And when you get everybody on the same side of the boat and that trend starts to turn, you get a mad dash for the exit. And, you and I talked, I think, last week with regards to the cattle market being a lot thinner than some of these other markets, where when people do start to look for the exit doors, it's a very, very thin market. And there's a lot of oxygen and gaps in that market. And that's what we're seeing today. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised to see that continue. We've seen the narrative shift from bullish headlines to maybe a little bit of a turn in that. We've seen box beef lower. Saw the bird flu headlines, South American border reopening for cattle trade, and then the cattle inventory last week as well. It's the smallest herd since 1951, but it was still above expectation. So a bit of a narrative shift and technical breakdown. I wouldn't be surprised to see continued pressure in the near future.
Great stuff. 1951. That was a good year. All right. Appreciate you coming on. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures, coming to us from Chicago, bringing it back here to music.